People, we got some more breaking news. Some more breaking news on a day where I thought AJ versus Jake Paul being announced would be the height of the news. We've got some more. Before we carry on, if you could just very, very quickly there, have a look on screen. If you could please consider hitting the like, hitting the subscribe, hitting the notification bell. It would greatly help me out, help the channel out. We want to get to 30k as quick as we can. Let's talk about the news. So, it says on Sky Sports, Oleksandr Usyk relinquishes the WBO Heavyweight title after being ordered to defend against Fabio Wardley. It says the following: Oleksandr Usyk has relinquished the WBO Heavyweight title after being ordered to face Fabio Wardley. Unbeaten Brit Wardley has been crowned as the new WBO champion. Usyk was told by the WBO that he must face the Joseph Parker Fabio Wardley winner in September. This is obviously being told in the month of September, not September next year. Oleksandr Usyk relinquishes the WBO heavyweight title. Fabio Wardley has emerged as the next challenger, or had emerged as the next challenger for Oleksandr Usyk after he earned the WBO interim title with a stunning 11th-round stoppage win over Joseph Parker at the O2 last month, and will now be elevated to full champion. Queensberry Promotions, who had the press conference for Atelma versus Franklin today, tweeted on their page, and the new Fabio Wardley, the new WBO champion of the world. Massive congratulations to Fabio and the team. Usyk was told by the WBO that he must face the winner of Parker versus Wardley in September, but the Ukrainian second reign as undisputed champion is now over after the WBO confirmed that he had now vacated the belt. It went a little bit longer than his last run as undisputed. Statement from the WBO reads: the World Boxing Organization announced today that it has received formal communication from Team Usyk regarding the future of the WBO champion. After thoughtful consideration, Usyk has elected to relinquish his title. The statement continues: we accept and respect his decision to relinquish the WBO Super Championship. Didn't know there was a regular one, but I know. This is not a farewell, but as expressed by the team, a respectful pause. The door will be open for the WBO. The door will be open to the WBO will always remain to Oleksandr Usyk and his team. The unbeaten Wardley becomes Britain's newest heavyweight champion, following Daniel Dubois, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua. Wardley has welcomed the fight against Usyk, telling Sky Sports, that has been the goal for a number of years now. That's been the objective, that's been everything I've wanted, but the Ipswich boxer has been denied the chance to challenge Usyk, who would have been defending all of his belts against the Brit. Let's see if there's anything else extra here. Wardley has extended his explosive record to 20 wins with 19 knockouts and just a solitary draw against Fraser Clark, which was resolved with an emphatic first-round knockout in their rematch. It certainly was that. Usyk has stated an injury is the reason for not agreeing terms for the mandatory defence against Parker, and the 38-year-old is yet to confirm the next stage of his career since stopping Daniel Dubois in the summer. That is the end of the Sky Sports article. Boy, where do we even start with this? I was fully expecting Oleksandr Usyk to go ahead with the fight. I thought to myself he'd look at Fabio Wardley and think, lamb to the slaughter, taking candy from a baby, because although Fabio Wardley's been on a great run of form, it has to be said he's come from behind in all those fights. I mean, Joseph Parker was clearly the better boxer. He fought very recklessly, very uncharacteristically, and subsequently what happened, you could maybe say that could potentially have played a part in it. We don't know. We have to let due process happen. But just spare a thought for Joseph Parker. Again, I'm not saying this that I'm looking for sympathy or anything like that from him. I'm not. But it really does show... This to me is the quintessential just wait. Just wait. Because Joseph Parker was WBO interim champion. He was not obliged to fight Fabio Wardley at all. He could have done, and I think he probably should have done, what Ajay Kabayel is doing. He's interim champion. He's having a homecoming against, I can't even remember the guy's name, but he's a fairly run-of-the-mill heavyweight that no one knows. I don't see why Joseph Parker couldn't have maybe pushed for a rematch with Dylan White, or even fight that Albanian guy who Frank Warren's been trying to get a Telma in there with, the guy who's about 40 years old. He looks terrible. You're not obliged as mandatory or interim champion to be taking really dangerous fight after really dangerous fight. And if Joseph Parker hadn't have fought Fabio Wardley, if he decided I'm just going to sit on it, or I'm maybe going to have a run out on maybe Usyk and Dubois' undercard, or I'm going to have a run out, you know, at another time, right? I know he wanted to be active, but let's just say he was just having a run out. Right now, chances are he'd be WBO world champion again. And now he's facing the real possibility that he will never be world champion again. And credit to Fabio Wardley. Again, Fabio Wardley is, like, his story is phenomenal. It's incredible, really, because this is a guy, I know I've said it before, but I have to emphasize this. This is a guy who a decade ago put on the gloves, 10 years ago, put on the gloves, wasn't an amateur, didn't have an amateur career, went and did white collar. There's no winners or losers in white collar, although I'd say he probably won them all. But you know what I mean? It's nothing. A white collar fight is essentially, Tom from accounts versus Mick from IT. It's Natasha from customer service versus Adele from accounts. You know that sort of way? That's what it is. It's not. You're literally dealing with Joe Blow, the Joe Blow public, having white collar fights. That's where he came from. To then turn over pro, not just to go through the levels in a reasonably short space of time, again, given the lack of experience he has. When you have fighters who are accomplished amateurs, they're 6-7 years. So Joshua Buatsi is a prime example, never even fought for a world title. Joshua Buatsi was an Olympic bronze medalist. Joshua Buatsi was accomplished amateur. This man's never even fought for a world title. He turned pro, I think, 2 years or a year after Fabio Wardley. Or did he? They turned pro around at the same time. An Olympian, fair enough, light heavyweight, you need a bit more skill. A white collar guy, one of them's world heavyweight champion, the other one, I'd be surprised if Buatsi ever wins a world title. It really does show that an amateur career, it helps, but it's not the be all and end all. It really is remarkable that Fabio Wardley's been able to do this. It really, truly is. And credit to him, he has etched his name in the history books. I know it's not the way, I would imagine this isn't the way you want to win a world title. I would imagine that in particular your first, if you've already been world champion and you've won the world title maybe 2 or 3 times, you could say, okay, I'm just being elevated. Woohoo, happy days. All right, let's move on. But when you've never won it, I'd say that would kind of, because you think about it like this. He probably woke up this morning, Fabio Wardley, went onto his iPhone, checked his emails. Oh, I'm world champion. Hey, you want to win it. You want to win it in the ring. You really do want to do that. But anyway, credit to him. Now, the bigger question, Oleksandr Usyk, what do we do with you? Now, I don't see why Oleksandr Usyk didn't go ahead with this fight. I really can't. I don't know why. Because what reason would you have not to? You're fighting someone who is entertaining, but he's very limited. You'd be the overwhelming favourite. Why not fight Fabio Wardley? This doesn't make sense to me. And this has me very worried. Now, if Oleksandr Usyk is thinking, you know what, do I even have one more fight left in me? Will I call it quits now? I've got no problem with that. I'm not going to judge him or begrudge him that. I think that if he does call it quits, then fair enough. You've had a great career, and I think you really couldn't think of a better way to go out. However, Anthony Joshua is fighting Jake Paul. Now, we were hearing talk that it's going to be him against Tyson Fury in the summer. Could still happen. This has me worried now. If Oleksandr Usyk is vacating this WBO title to go and give Tyson Fury another crack, a trilogy fight that he hasn't earned, nor does he deserve, we're going to have some problems. So I really hope that what Oleksandr Usyk, I can't understand his logic. I can't really understand it, because you're undisputed champion, you have this title defense, you don't have any other mandatories coming. I'm stumped. I'm really stumped here. Having said that, it does mean now Wardley is world champion. People, Frank's going to do it next year. Definitely. He's going to do Wardley versus Teuma. I would 100% take that to the bank. Next year, summer next year, wouldn't shock me. Frank Warren, Teuma, Wardley, in-house, Queensbury. There you go. I guarantee it. But Usyk, I hope he retires now if that's the case. I do, because I won't accept the Fury trilogy, and I don't think anyone listening should, or watching should. He's done nothing to earn it, quite frankly, and I hope to God that this isn't it from Oleksandr Usyk, in a sense of he's just going to say, right, I'm just chasing the money fights and Fury is the biggest money fight I can get. Please don't do that. If Fury comes back and he fights Anthony Joshua and you fight Caballel and you win and Fury wins, all right, then I might be able to say, meh, okay. But no, he can't just go jump in the queue. That's just a no. Please, no. So those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section below. As always, people, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you could, smash the like button, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. People, till next time.